नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोर्श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरोर्नवैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। जयतां सुरतौ पंगो मम मंदमतेर्गते मत्सर्वस्य पदाम्भोजौ राधा मदनमोहनं। देव्यवृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमादः श्रीमद्रत्नागार सिंहासनस्थौ श्रीमद्राधा श्रीलगोविन्ददेवो प्रेष्ठालीभिः सेव्यमानो स्मरामि। श्रीमान् रासरसारम्भे वंशे वटतटस्थितः कर्षन् वेणु स्वनैर्गोपी गोपीनाथ श्रीयस्तुनः। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गे राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरे वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। Welcome to all the devotees. This devotee in Srimad Bhagavatam, which we are going to discuss today and relish from the story from this life of this devotee, will understand that if once we develop love of Godhead, how we would behave. We can learn from this devotee, and also from this devotee's life we'll understand that separation from Krishna would be like a death, or almost like a death. And how a devotee who is attached to Krishna would see each and every situation, how he would see each and every condition so favorable for him to get attached to Krishna. That is beauty of this wonderful devotee, and the devotee who is none other than Maharani Kunti. So today we are going to discuss next few minutes about the beautiful story of Queen Kunti. Queen Kunti is well known as mother of Pandavas. If you look at the story of Kunti in Mahabharata, we will get a feeling that, oh, she is a Raja Mata, is a mother of princely boys of princely Pandavas. But the moment you come to Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the ripened fruit of Vedic literature, we'll understand that she is a so mature devotee. She is a mature devotee, and though she is in the form of a woman, she understood Krishna very thoroughly, and she has analyzed very nicely. And though she is related to Krishna, still she understood that he is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Though he is coming very close to her, still he is a personality who is actually controlling the whole world. And she has seen from various situations of her life, went through life so many difficulties, but she took everything very positive and finally achieved the love of Godhead. And Krishna also considered her as a very, very devoted. So let us see the beautiful story, energizing story, and story of Kunti Maharani. And as I mentioned, it is an example to all of us that once we develop love of Krishna, the Panchama Purushartha, what symptoms we will be getting. So we all can see in Srimad Bhagavatam from the story. Actually, that is the beauty of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is what? The moment you open Srimad Bhagavatam, you will have darshan of great devotees. Mahabhagavatas. Because we say that, oh, nowadays I'm not getting the proper association, I'm not getting Uttamadhikaris, like the people start speaking a lot of things. But the moment they open the book of Bhagavatam, they will see beautiful stories of great Mahabhagavatas and Mahajanas and pure devotees who will give, the moment you are hearing about them or when you are reading about them, actually you are associating with them. Because they are going to inspire you from our heart and they will guide you time to time. That's why it is called Bhagavatottama Durlabha Darshanam. Srimad Bhagavatam, when you open, you will have the rare, very rare audience of the great devotees of Krishna time to time. And she is such a very unusual devotee that we come across in the entire Bhagavatam or anywhere in the world, that she is only one devotee of Krishna. She requested for the calamities to come again and again. Vipada santuta shashvat tatra jagadguru. My dear Supreme Lord Krishna, the protector of whole universe, O Jagadishwara, Jagadguru, hey Jagadguru, please give me these calamities again and again. I am sure that nobody has asked or anybody would ask in future. But she was so confident. Why she was so confident? That is the only matter of experience. That is the beautiful nature of this Kunti Maharani. That is beautiful. So let us get into the story of this Kunti Maharani. Actually, her life story, originally her name is Prutha. Actually, she was a daughter of Shurasena Maharaj. Shurasena Maharaj had 10 sons and 5 daughters. So among the 10 sons, one great son was there. His name is Vasudeva. And amongst the 5 sons, one great lady devotee is there. She is Prutha, that is Kunti. So Shurasena Maharaj is having the 10 sons of his Vasudeva, and to that Vasudeva, Lord Krishna was born. That's why, since he was born to Vasudeva, Krishna is also known as Vasudeva. So from Vasudeva, Krishna has come Vasudeva. When this Vasudeva took birth, in the heavenly planet, everybody started beating the drums. Why they are beating drums? It was very amusing. They know that this personality is going to be very, very famous in the coming generation, coming yugas, because he is going to become the platform where Krishna is going to, Supreme Personality Godhead is going to appear. Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Sadishabditam. Because Supreme Lord Krishna can appear only in the most purest form, in the most purest state. Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Sadishabditam. Because Vasudeva is a perfect Vishuddha Sattva Guna Sthiti personality that Lord Krishna has chosen to appear from him. So this Shurasena Maharaj is having 10 sons, of which the Vasudeva is the glorious son. To him Lord Krishna appeared. Now let us see the 5 daughters. In these 5 daughters, Prutha is one of, and to her the Pandavas were born. So because of this, Prutha, who is Kunti Maharani, was the sister of Vasudeva, automatically Krishna has become related to Kunti Maharani. The Kunti Maharani has become aunt of Lord Krishna. And Vasudeva was having Krishna as son, and Kunti Maharani was having the son Arjun. That's why Krishna and Arjun also become related. And that's why, because of this wonderful transcendental relation, The transcendent relation is there, at the same time blood relation is also there. So that's why Krishna has given his sister to Arjun, Subhadra. So in this way, Kunti Maharani and Krishna are so intimately connected, not only from the blood relation, but also great devotion. So at that time, there was the 5 daughters' names are Prutha, Shrutadeva, Shrutakirti, Shrutashrava, Rajadi Devi. So these are 5 daughters. Shurisena Maharaj was having one friend. His name was Kunti Bhoja. So the Kunti Bhoja was not having any children. Then he requested his friend, "Oh, my dear friend, can you give one of your daughters? You have so many 5 daughters. Can you give one daughter? I want to adopt." So Shurisena Maharaj, out of good love for his friend Kunti Bhoja, has given Prutha to his friend. Because Prutha was adopted by Kunti Bhoja, her name came as Kunti. So in that way, she has become Kunti Maharani. That's great. And all the though she has given only 3 people, Yudhishthir, Arjun and Bhim, she has given birth, but generally even Nakul Sahadev are also considered the children. She has considered all the 5 Pandavas as her children, and she took care of them. That's why all the Pandavas are known as the children, the 5 sons of Kunti Maharani. So in the entire Srimad Bhagavatam, Vasudeva and Kunti, they played very, very important roles. They played important roles in the pastimes of Lord Krishna in establishing the dharma. Krishna essentially comes to this world. He has clearly mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha dushkrita dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So for establishing dharma samsthapanarthaya. So when he comes, he would choose only his pure devotees to assist him, to give birth to him, to give love to him, to get married to him, to fight with him, whatever, many things. So he would only allow his devotees to do that. So in that way, Vasudeva and Kunti Maharani played an important role in fulfilling the Lord's mission of establishing dharma in this in Dwapara Yuga. So our Prutha was adopted by Kunti Bhoja, and since then she started being known as Kunti. So in this Kunti Bhoja was a very, very generous king, and many devotees used to come. Even the demigods used to come to his house, and many Rishi Munis used to come, and they all used to get nicely served. They nicely given shelter night in that way. And Kunti Bhoja used to engage Kunti, a very, very young, beautiful girl, princess. She used to serve them. One day, to one great Muni, Durvasa Muni, came to Kunti Bhoja's house. So the Kunti Bhoja is engaged Kunti. I cannot call at the time Kunti Maharani because she is not yet married. So she is only a Racha Kanya, a very young girl. So he engaged Kunti in service of Durvasa Muni, and she served him nicely, and Durvasa Muni was very much pleased, and he has given a powerful mantra, that with that power of mantra, the person who is chanting the mantra can invite any demigod in the universe and get all the desires fulfilled. So when this unusual, powerful benediction was given to Kunti Maharani, she thought whether this is really powerful. She wanted to really test it. And she similarly, out of this curiosity, she has chanted this mantra and invited sun god. The sun god came, and Oh, she was stunned. Oh, I thought it is not so much powerful, but the sun god came. But sun god came, and she said that, okay, thank you very much. Now I tested the mantra. Now you can please you can leave. So I don't have any work. But the sun god said, no, no. The power of mantra is such that once we come here, we have to fulfill the requirements. And now I am desiring you. I am desiring you seed in your womb, because you have invited me. This is my desire. And Kunti became very much upset, and she was a little worried, more worried. How it is possible? I am not married. I am virgin girl. How it is possible? Then the sun god has given her complete assurance that your virginity will be intact. At the same time, the mantra power is also intact. So the sun god has given her the virginity and also given seed into her womb, and she immediately delivered a boy who is just like another son. And the boy was very, very attractive, very resplendent, but she cannot accept the boy, because that will be, the society will not accept. What about his father? What about the country? What about their religion? So she immediately, out of fear of the society, father and everybody, she has kept the boy in a basket and left it in the river. And finally, she has put in a box, basically not a basket, in a box, and the box was left in the river. The box went floating, and it was obtained by a Suta, who is a maintainer of horses, and he was also a childless person. By the mercy of that, he opened that and found that there was a beautifully attractive son was there in that, and he felt that it is the mercy of the providence, and that boy is none other than Karna. Then afterwards, after some time, the Kunti was married to Pandu. Pandu Raja, the king Pandu, was the son of Vichitravirya. So, and Vichitravirya was the son of Shantanu Maharaj. So, actually, when the Vichitravirya was married to Ambika and Ambalika, he was too much attached to the family life, and because of that, he got a disease and he died of that unusual disease. And at that time, by the request of Satyavati and Bhishma, Srila Vyasadeva has given birth in the womb of Ambika, Ambalika, and another maidservant. So because of them, King Pandu, Dhritarashtra, and Vidura Mahatma, they took birth. So, and after some time, because of that, because the Dhritarashtra was blind, he was he was not eligible for the throne, and Vidura Mahatma, because of his Shudra life, he could not also become the king, and only Pandu became the king of the dynasty. However, he got a curse. He got a curse that if he unites with wife, he will be immediately killed. So, King Pandu married two Rajkanya. One is Kunti, one is Madri. But because of this, because of the curse, he could not unite with them. And at the time, the King Pandu suggested Kunti. She has become Kunti Maharani at the time. So she has requested. So she has invited Yamadharmaraj, and from him she got Yudhishthira Maharaj, and she also invited Vayudeva, and because of him she got Bhimasena, and she has invited Indra, and from him she gave birth to Arjun. So in the way she got, and Matri, and then afterwards Kunti Maharani has given this mantra to Matri, invited Ashwini Kumara. From that Nakula and Sahadev both were born. In that way, Pandu Raja got 5 sons, 3 to Kunti Maharani and 2 sons to Madri. So Pandu Raja was very happy, but because of the providence, at one point of time he tried to unite with Madri, and because of the curse he died. When he died, as per at the time the tradition, the wives who are there, they have also go on to the fire. The children were very, very small. Then Kunti Maharani came forward that you don't worry, I'll take care of these 5 children, 5 sons. That is Yudhishthira, Bhimasena, Arjun, Nakula and Sahadev. I'll take care of all the 5 children. You simply, and she has advised the Madri that she can do the Sahagaman with husband, whereas she would take care of. And whatever the decision taken at that point of time, Kunti, she was very, very behaved like very matured lady, and that was accepted. That was accepted by great. There were Shatashrunga, like great Rishi Munis. They accepted the decision taken by Kunti Maharani, and she took care of all the 5 children, and she moved to the home. But because of the cunning nature of Duryodhan, she had to face so many problems. So much so that even the Bhimasena was poisoned, and afterwards all the Pandavas were taken out their rightful kingdom, and they were thrown out. And when they were thrown out, Duryodhana tried to kill them in a big fire. But everywhere she found that only because of Krishna, she and her all the children are completely saved. And even at some point of time, that when they were out of the kingdom, there were some man-eaters. There were some man-eaters, and man-eaters like Hidimbasura was there, Bakasura was there, but they were all the Pandavas were saved. And when they were in the problem, all the Pandavas' problem, they were already grown up, but as a responsible mother, she also went along with them out of the kingdom with all comforts, and she was suffering. She also shared all the troubles, whatever all the 5 sons they were facing, and all these troubles continued, and finally the Kurukshetra war came into picture, and even in that also all Pandavas were safely crossed over the problem of the great danger of Kurukshetra war. And finally it appeared that everything concluded, but at that time a problem which can be considered as climax of the problems. Kunti Maharani felt that is the climax of all problems. That is, now all the only Pandavas are left over, because even the another remaining 5 sons of Pandavas were also killed by Ashwadhama. Now there is only Pandava Vamshankura, the only one successor is expected, and that child is in the womb of mother. At that time, Ashwadhama, out of great grudge, and out of great intense anger, because he was insulted tremendously. He applied Brahmastra. He applied Brahmastra. Earlier, he has applied Brahmastra to protect himself. But this time, he has applied Brahmastra just to kill the successor of Pandu Vamsha. And Kunti Maharani considered that as the climax of all troubles. Climax of all troubles. Because if that is done, nobody can save the whole world. That is the situation. At that time, the Uttara came to Krishna Mahabhava. So she surrendered to Krishna and requested him that please protect this, something great weapon is coming with so much heat and is coming towards her, and she requested that even if it kills him, kills her, it's no problem, but let her child in the womb be protected. So when they saw the great danger, all the Pandavas, they took up their weapons. But how can they do it? They can't do anything. But out of anxiety, they did something to just lifted their all weapons. And Krishna also lifted his weapon, that is Chakra, Sudarshan Chakra. When he lifted his Chakra, that everybody thought that he was going to do something, but he was just standing. He was just standing there. But Krishna did everything very silently. He just entered by his Yogamaya into the womb of Uttara, and he entered with his club, and he started moving the club in a circular manner around the child. Inside. And the great heat which was surrounding and almost killed the boy, was completely cooled down by the Krishna's circumambulating the club. That great story we discussed on the first day, that is Parikshit Maharaj. And everything was nicely done, and the child in the womb was looking at that beautiful four-handed wonderful. Here when you see Krishna outside, he is two-handed form, but the Parikshit Maharaj in the womb of mother, he saw four-handed form. That is protection. So he with the club, because Krishna always, he will not keep anything, he will just hold the flute. There was a story Prabhupada used to tell in his lectures. There was a foreigner who came to Bengal, and he wanted to say, I saw that there are so many people in India, they worship so many gods. I want to know who is actually God. That foreigner was so much confused, there are so many temples everywhere. So he said that, okay, let me go and see who is actually God. So he went to so many temples. He went to Kalika temple. So Kalika was holding big trishul, fight with people and always busy. And he went to some other temple. He is holding club. Somebody is having some, like that. Everywhere he saw, all the gods are busy with some work. But he went to Radhakrishna temple. There he was stunned. Oh, this God not is holding any weapons. He is only playing. So he is really God. So the foreigner has concluded that I consider the Krishna is God, because God is not one who is always busy protecting or fighting with people or protecting this and that. God should be always enjoying, and only his whatever the Shakti are there or his energies are there, they will be doing remaining work. So Krishna is always playing with Radharani and playing with all his associates. So really, when Krishna was going to Dwaraka, he was just holding only flute, nothing to carry some weapons. But the moment he was required to do certain activity, he entered in the form of Vasudeva, in the four-handed form, and he has done a great miracle inside. That's the beauty of that. So, and everything got cooled out. Then everybody thought that now calamity has gone out. And Kunti Maharani considers that as the climax, of all troubles. And when that climax, that also she has just crossed over, without any problem, without any damage, without any loss. He was completely satisfied. He was so satisfied. And she immediately took all the 5 Pandavas and Draupadi and Uttara and moved toward Krishna more closer. She can approach, but she moved still closer and started praying so much. Praying so much. At that time, she has poured all her devotion, all her understanding, all her love through her words. And they are very, very popular. There are now prayers of Kunti Maharani. Srila Prabhupada has written a special book on the prayers of Kunti Maharani. It is so amazing. We'll understand her great devotion. Namasye Purushantadyam Ishparam Prakute Param Alaksham Sarva Bhutanam Antar Bahiravastitam. My dear Supreme Lord, you are always there inside and outside. You are always there inside and outside. Even though you are inside and outside, people, since they are covered by Maya, they are not able to see you. Because she said, this is first statement, because I am seeing you outside, and now I understood that something, whatever calamity came inside, that is also spoiled, that is also completely removed. So means you are inside also, you are outside also. So can I consider you stay only outside? Or should I consider only you are inside? No, you are on both sides. But even though you are inside and outside, people cannot Alaksham Sarvabhutana. Nobody can see you. Similarly, say like that, we are seeing the soul is there, but we can't see soul. We always see only mind. I think, we say. But I think means your mind. We never talk that. It is revealed to me, the soul. The super soul is revealing me. We don't say that. So we don't see the soul, we don't see the super soul. So when we are not seeing the soul, where is Krishna of seeing super soul? So that's what she has with complete understanding. Kunti Maharani said that Namasye Purusham Tvadyam. Hey Adi Purush, you are inside and outside, but Alaksham Sarvabhutana, people can't see you. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. She was praying to Krishna that hey, you are the son of Vasudeva, and you are also son of Devaki, and also you are son of Nanda Gopa. Because Nanda Baba is there, Yashoda Maya is there. I know how much you enjoyed there. I know how much you played there, how much tricks you made there. I know very well. Govindaya Namo Namaha, she is praying. And actually you are given pleasure to everybody. But my dear Krishna, one thing really causes me amusement, that actually you are the cause of fear to fear, personified. But I saw one day that you are out of fear of your mother. That always, whenever I think about it, I get confused. What is happening? Because I know that you have shown entire universe in your mouth to your mother. But same, that boy is like you are running away by looking at the stick in your mother's hand. It really gives me complete confusion. I get lost. What is true? What is not true? It is very amazing. Krishna said that. And she prays so nicely that Nama Pankajanaabhaya, Nama Pankajamaline, Nama Pankajanetraya, Namaste Pankajankraye. Actually, any devotee, whenever they want to say Supreme Lord, they should say lotus feet first. But here Kunti Maharani is not saying Krishna, he is not glorifying Krishna's lotus feet. Actually, she has glorified lotus feet at the end, because for Krishna, Kunti Maharani is very elderly aunt. So if she is looking, feels embarrassed. So Krishna doesn't want, Kunti Maharani doesn't want to give embarrassment to Krishna. That's why she said, Nama Pankajanaabhaya. So she is trying to look at her Katistan and trying to glorify. Your navel is like a lotus flower. Nama Pankajamaline, you are wearing a garland of lotus flowers, and you have eyes like lotus petals, and you are having lotus legs, that you are feet. Namaste Pankajangraye. And she started also saying finally that vipada santuta shashvat tatra tatra jagat guru bhavato darshanam yashat apanurbhava darshanam. Let, my dear Lord, whatever troubles, there so many troubles happened because you have protected us from the poison food, you have protected us from the fire, you have protected from the man-eaters, you have protected from the Kurukshetra war, you have protected from the Brahmastra, now you protected from this great calamity of destroying our dynasty, our future generation. But I am of the opinion that let these calamities happen again and again, because I am very sure that whenever troubles happened, you only protected us. You came and you protected us. So now also you came and protected us. So whenever it happens, you are going to come and protect us. By seeing you means actually will not be seeing this world again. If I am getting repeated darshan of you, then I can be assured that I will never come to this material world once again. That's why let these troubles, which actually gave a wonderful opportunity, let it happen again and again. In that way, so actually, if you look at it, samashitaye padapallava plavam. So this world, the world is like padam yad vipadam. At each and every stage there is a danger. But for devotees, at each and every stage Krishna's presence is there. At each and every stage Krishna's protection is there. So for them, at each and every stage, they are actually living in the spiritual world. That's why they are so confident. And finally she said that Govinda Go Dvija Surarti Haravatara Yogeshwara Khila Guru Bhagavan Namaste. She knows very well that Krishna's main intention is to give protection to cows, brahmanas, and all the devatas. So, and she knows very well that he is the spiritual master of the whole universe. Akhila Jagat Guru, Yogeshwara Akhila Guru Bhagavan Namaste. He is Yogeshwara and he is Akhila Guru, both. And if you look at the Kunti Maharani entire life, she also played a very responsible woman form, because when Hidimba, when actually Bhima killed Hidimba-sura, the sister of Hidimba came and she wanted to marry Bhimasen. But Bhimasena was not willing. But at that time, Yudhishthira Maharaj and Kunti convinced Bhimasena that he should marry her. And finally from her, Ghatotkacha was appeared and he has helped Pandavas in Kurukshetra war. And also in the Ekachakrapura, when all the Pandavas along with Bhimasena was staying in a Brahmana's house, so that Brahmana's son was supposed to be sent as a food to Bakasura. So a whole family was crying. At that time, Kunti Maharani went and consoled the Brahmana. He said, "You don't worry. Instead of your son, I am going to send my son." She was so confident. She was so confident about the power of Bhimasena, and she was having so much gratefulness towards the Brahmana, because they have shelter to their family in that way. And also at one place, she only told Yudhishthira Maharaj and remaining all people to go to Panchal Desh so that they can participate in the Swayamvar. When Arjun won in that Swayamvar, and when they brought, she advised all the 5 Pandavas to marry Draupadi. In this way, she played a very important role in entire Mahabharata also, and that's why very, very important characters. Now, coming to her life climax, and everything was nicely done. Yudhishthira Maharaj became the king, and he started ruling the whole universe, whole universe nicely. And after that, Krishna went back to Dwaraka. That is also nicely happened. And one time, Arjuna felt that he wants to go to Dwaraka and meet his dear friend Krishna. So he went to Dwaraka, and 6 months, 7 months happened. He did not come back. He did not come back. But then Yudhishthira Maharaj started looking some bad omen things. Something bad things are happening. He was very little bit worried. What's happening? And he wants to know what's happening and what happened to Arjun. He went there, but he is not come, and there's no information. So finally, Arjun came back, and he was so morose. And the moment he saw that Arjun was morose, Yudhishthira Maharaj asked, "What happened? Why you are so much dull? Why you appear to be dejected? Is there something you did wrong? Is there something happened bad? Please tell me, what is that?" He was asking many questions. But finally Arjun said that whatever thing that should not happen, happened. That is, my dearmost Krishna left me. That's it. When Krishna is there, I was so much powerful, but the moment Krishna left, I have nothing with me. I am completely become dejected. I am now helpless. I am powerless. He was just narrating the whole story. At that time, Kunti Maharani was in the next room, little far, and she heard that Arjuna was speaking some very most dangerous information, or most heart information, that Krishna left. The moment she heard that Krishna left this planet, in next moment she left the body. That is the highest perfection. Simply remembering Krishna, the Kunti Maharani left the body. That is the perfection of life. Because for such devotees, the separation of Krishna is like death. That's why even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also said to Ramananda, what is considered the most agony in the world? That the separation from devotees is considered the biggest agony in this life, in this world. So if separation from devotees itself is a big agony, a big trouble in the world, what about Krishna? So Kunti Maharani, the moment she heard that Krishna left, she immediately died. Immediately left the body and fell down. That's it. She was praying to Krishna that, my dear Lord, let my attachment to all the Vishnu, Pandava, the attachment, let it be severed immediately. I don't want any attachment with any of these people. I want to just remember you only. Let all the rivers flow towards ocean uninterrupted. Let my consciousness flow towards you, my dear Krishna. She was praying to Krishna. She has that greatest desire that she wants to remember Krishna, and her consciousness wants to flow like a river, the uninterrupted river moving towards the ocean. The Krishna has granted that desire. So, my dear devotees, all the hearers, please remember that if you have anything, first of all you should desire. Like Kunti Maharani has given the process, that she desired that let my attachment to the Pandavas, Vrishnis, Yadu, it will be severed, and my attachment to Krishna flow like a river, Ganges, moving towards the ocean. That was the desire she expressed in front of Krishna, and Krishna fulfilled at the time of that. That's why Krishna is eternal. Krishna devotees are eternal. Krishna devotees' desires also eternal, and whatever the things the deeds they do, they also eternal. And whatever Krishna awards to devotees, that is also eternal. That's why the great eternal situation happens between Krishna and Krishna's devotees. That's why in this material world, the only permanent thing is love of Krishna and service of Krishna. And when we really aspire to achieve this in footsteps of Kunti Maharani, then we will be very happy here, and we will be protected every time, and we can be 100% sure about protection. So in this way we can take great inspiration from this wonderful devotee Kunti Maharani. Thank you very much. This is